NFL Primetime, week number 6. Leaves are starting to turn, you know? I mean, that time of year, Chris Berman, Booger McFarland, at least up here.
Oh, they
now
are.
You're from a little farther. Your palm trees haven't turned yet.
No, it's still a little warm down south.
No, that's something that I saw. Well, I mean, didn't take very long for just a handful of teams to be left undefeated. Seattle not playing in week number 6. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Green Bay. That's it. Titans, short week. They were at home against their division rival, team that's won the division, Houston. Could the Titans get to 5-0? Here we go. Could Tennessee keep undefeated and get it going? Titans, Ryan Tannehill. They led at 17-7 at the half, but all of a sudden Houston's come back big time at 23-20. Did I say big time? From his own 6, he could go all the way. 94 yards. The DB doesn't pick up Derrick Henry at all. He's amazing.
Bad fit in the run defense by number 41, Zach Cunningham. And for a man at 6'3", 240, my goodness, can Derrick Henry move?
Mike Vrabel tried to catch him down the sideline. He was so excited. So they blew a big lead. Now they're up against Houston 29-23 after a 2-point conversion. But Deshaun Watson. Will Fuller. He fought the law. The Bobby Fuller 4. They sang that song. I'm dating myself. 30-29 Houston. Nice play. Tannehill to Khalif Raymond, but it's going to be intercepted by Bradley Roby. 4th and 1. David Johnson going to get a first down. Texans keep the drive alive. Now 4th and goal. Houston trying to go 2-0 for Romeo Crennel. Watson to Brandon Cooks. Deshaun Watson, what a big second half. They're up 36-29, and they go for 2, up by 7. They go for, I mean, I get it. You're 1-4. Romeo, where art thou? Look, we could talk about it in a minute. Didn't connect with Randall Cobb, so they're up 7. It could have been 8 with a kick.
He should have kicked the boom. I understand what the analytical people say. Kick the field goal, you go up 8.
Oh, so you know what's going to happen. 10. Jeremy McNichols, 9 yards. Titans, hurry to the line. Check. Tannehill, they're down 7. There's 7 seconds. The float to A.J. Brown. Ooh, this is going to be close. They call it a touchdown. There's 1 foot, but a knee and a foot hit at the same time, Booger.
Yeah, I don't know about this call, but I guess they reviewed it in New York and said it was fine. Touchdown.
Oh, the knee and the foot, same time. The original call, touchdown. Now they kick and they go to overtime. And look at Deshaun Watson when they don't win the toss. He already knew.
He knew it.
He knew we might never get the ball. And guess what? Tannehill, the swing to Henry. What could possibly happen? Look at the big fella run. 53 yards down the sideline. And then 3rd and goal, the Wildcat. Yeah, well, what do you think they're going to plan here, Booger? Henry, almost like the vintage Le'Veon Bell, like waiting for the hole, waiting. And it's a touchdown in overtime. Titans, who had a big lead, 42-36. They win in OT. Romeo, Deshaun Watson, they played so well. But one team is undefeated and the other team has won only once. And that's the way these games go, right? 42-36 in overtime. Mike Vrabel on. It's been an interesting few weeks for Tennessee.
I mean, obviously, we all witness to somebody taking a game over. He really put us on his back and carried us. And again, those carries that Jeremy was able to have, I think, helped Derrick as well. He makes a big impact for us week in and week out. You know, some weeks it shows up big on the stat sheet, and this is one of those weeks.
We're 5-0, playing good team football. No matter what, no matter how the game's going, we don't quit. We stay together.
So Tennessee undefeated. They have interesting next game, Pittsburgh. But look, Romeo Crennel forgot more football than I will ever know, and maybe both. I mean, well, right? So we're not here to. I get it. They're 1-4. If they make a 2-point conversion, they go up by 9, and they essentially win the game. I get it. That was tough, though. As soon as he went, I went, oh, no. You agree? I mean, go up by 8, make the other team score and get it 2. He knows that, too.
Yeah, he knows that. But the analytical people say this. Would you rather have the game in your quarterback's hands or your defense's hands. That's why you go for 2, you put it in your quarterback's hand. But at that point, you're up 7. You have to kick the extra point.
You do.
You go up 8. Now you make the other team go down and score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. As we saw during the day, a 2-point conversion is not the easiest thing to get.
2-point conversion was one of the stories of this day. And now, another undefeated team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, at home against Cleveland. And in the big ketchup bottle, you know how many times they've beaten Cleveland in a row going into this? How about 16? How about Tim Couch over Tommy Maddox in 03? That was a nice sight, actually. Mike Tomlin, Steeler coach, hugging Myles Garrett, Cleveland extraordinary defensive lineman. Minkah Fitzpatrick, extraordinary interception for a touchdown of Baker Mayfield, 10-0 Pittsburgh.
Drop down from the safety position, essentially playing a robber. They're using him very similar to the way they used Troy Polamalu.
Now, Steelers starting at their own 12. What are they going to do? James Conner, offensive line, open up a hole. Conner making a nice move, run of 14. Steelers moving the chains. Remember, Cleveland comes in with a 4-game winning streak. So this is their chance to show that they belong toward the top of the division, or maybe tie with Pittsburgh. Maybe not. Chase Claypool into the deep end of the pool. Touchdown for Ben, 36 yards in the red zone.
Made the biggest difference. Somebody that can win one-on-one battles, boom.
Now here's the touchdown, which is Conner, and it's 17-0. Suing Browns possession, 3rd and 12. Steeler defense making life miserable for Baker Mayfield. Trying to make something, picked off. Cameron Sutton. Second interception of the game, Pittsburgh. Now Pittsburgh the ball at the 28. Big Ben, pump fake, nice. James Washington, fooled everybody.
Little double move there. Nice play call by offensive coordinator Randy Fichtner. Big Ben with the pump, easy score.
And as good as Cleveland has played this year, it's business as usual. Pittsburgh 24-0. Mayfield, Austin Hooper, he's open. 36 yards with 4 minutes to go in the half. Maybe Cleveland gets something going. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Mayfield, Rashard Higgins. Now he's open. 24-7 against Steeler defense. It's surprising. Well, 15 seconds left in the half. After a 3-and-out Pittsburgh. How much pressure was he under? Half, it's 24-7. Mayfield hurting. Kept going, though. I'm the wuss. Mayfield looking for Jarvis Landry. 3rd and 4. They originally say down by contact, ball popped up, and they said yes.
Great job by Landry catching it, putting it in the left hand, and then extending it to get the first down.
Next play. They said it's all right. Take care. It's 4th and 1. Here's the Pittsburgh defense.
This is what made Mike Tomlin proud all day. He said they played varsity football. The Steelers controlled the line of scrimmage all day long.
And that would be the last play by Mayfield. Then he would go out for Case Keenum. Meanwhile, shallow end of the pool.
He stuck his toe in.
We got to know Chase Claypool last week. Had 4 touchdowns, the rookie. My goodness. 5-0. Steelers as they win 38-7. Let me see. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers now. They have 5-0. Only happened one other time. It was in 1978. Arguably, in any conversation, for the best team of all time.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl against Dallas, with Super Bowl 13, 38-7. Big Ben after another win.
I don't know the last time I came out of a game with 8 minutes to go, so that's a good feeling. Felt like turn around and hit Jerome Bettis 20 times in the second half, but hey, whatever you got to do to win a football game.
Baker there, I didn't want to see him get hit one more time, and that's I put that on myself. Went into this game knowing we had to keep him clean, and we didn't do a good enough job. So that starts with me.
So look, the Browns learned a lot. Pittsburgh, Booger, I mean, there was a couple of plays open, but that defense is bringing on. They had a big injury today, didn't they?
Yeah, Devin Bush, they're all-pro middle linebacker, towards ACL. Mike Tomlin confirmed that. I think that's going to be a big loss. But more than anything, I think Mike Tomlin was satisfied with how they controlled the line of scrimmage. The Browns came in one of the top rushing football teams in the league. Mike Tomlin said, we play big boy varsity football. And you saw them control the line of scrimmage, and that'll travel. Not just in October, but when the leaves turn and it gets a lot colder, running the football, stopping the run, it will travel. And then on top of that, Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's the X factor on defense. And you saw him come down and make a play. When they can do that, boom, they got a number 1 receiver in Claypool. This team is going to be tough to beat. I think they're the best team in the AFC right now. they're going to be tough to beat come January.
Like at all three levels on
Yes,
defense, right?
yes,
Which,
yes.
which not very many, certainly not that we've seen thus far this year, right?
Exactly.
With the oddity of this season and you miss a game and it's rescheduled, Pittsburgh's had 4 straight home games. Now they have 3 straight road games. It's really bizarre. The next 2 shouldn't be very tough, though, Tennessee and Baltimore.
No, not at all.
Well, we will learn a little bit about them. All right, well, tell you what, Baltimore Ravens have lost only once. They're in a Philly who's just trying to scrap for a win here. Another long road trip for Baltimore, about an hour ride up the turnpike, maybe $1.50 at the link. Lamar Jackson, he can do this. Rolling, I got him. No, whoop, no, whoop, no, I throw. Nick Boyle touchdown.
The patience on the outside, not just taking off running, but using his athleticism to allow the receivers to uncover.
Well, it's 17-0, Baltimore. Philly trying to get in, and Jalen Hurts trying to shake. They run a little package for him, right? Like they did with Lamar when he was a rookie. Baltimore did.
Just to try to add a spark because the offense wasn't moving.
Yeah, over a minute to go in the half, barely. Carson Wentz, Miles Sanders. Oh, tough.
He was thinking it was going to be over the right shoulder. The ball came over the left shoulder. That's a tough catch.
Doug Peterson said, look, we're down 17-0. 4th and 1, we're going to go. It doesn't work. Quarterback sneak, turnover on downs. No, it's far short. 17-0 at the half. Now Philly says, wait, but we're not done. Hurts lines up to the left with Wentz. Watch this now. Hurts is in. Wentz is going to give it to Sanders, and Sanders is going to go all well, I'll be honest with you, just about 1.5 miles short for Miles. but JJ, I think a Whiteside's in the end zone. That's how you draw it up. The new Philly special.
That's what you call being Johnny on the spot.
Yep. 2-point conversion doesn't work at 17-6. Lamar Jackson, whoop, whoop, goodbye. I don't think they're going to get him, Booger. Gone. 37 yards, 24-6 Baltimore. Now back to a laugher, right?
Running the football, acceleration at the quarterback position, unreal.
30-14, 6 minutes to go in the game. Carson Wentz, you say he's trying to do it. Well, yeah, he is. And when he can do this, look at him, shake a tackler, stay in bounds, shake another. That's a big boy run.
If Lamar can do it, so can I, says Carson.
40-yard run, Wentz. Travis Fulgham, we got to know him the last couple of weeks. Between defenders, they go for 2, get it. 16, we're down to 8, 30-22. Now the Ravens 3 and out. Wentz, Richard Rodgers, down to the 6. 2-minute warning, 2nd and goal. Wentz. It's a touchdown, 30-28. So obviously 2. And on the 2-point conversion, Lamar can't believe this. Philly's going to cook up something really interesting. No, that wasn't that interesting. Wentz and Boston's got that. It just, yeah.
It was going to be a zone read, but the Ravens did an outstanding job. Judon takes the running back. The outside guy takes the quarterback. Nowhere to go. Great defense by Wink Martindale.
So Baltimore is 5-1. The 2 guys that know each other, Doug Peterson, John Harbaugh, of course. Opposite ends of the spectrum here, 5-1 and 4-1. Baltimore, long trip to Philly, long trip to Washington. I think they're going to be on a plane once through the middle of November. But, yeah, you play what the schedule says. You win just about every game, 30-28. They'll be smiling. Well, they're already home on their short bus ride.
We just got killed with penalties. We really just stopped ourselves. I feel like we were driving the ball down the field pretty decent. We did a great job today. We just got to work on the small things, and I feel like we'll be there. The sky's the limit for us.
5-1 going into a bye, get a chance to kind of just catch our breath, get our bodies right, and then we can come out the bye with a big one. This is the game. They say you're not really a Raven until you play against the Steelers. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity. It's going to be a great game.
Calais, he's a big guy.
That's a large
What
man.
a great person.
Yes,
oh, my
yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
Person, player, he's a perfect Raven. So I was surprised to see them let Philly in the game. Weren't you? This was seemingly in a pocket.
Yeah, it happens sometimes when you're dominating the game. There was a point in this game where the Ravens had more first downs than the Eagles had yards.
Right.
And then you get up and you get a big lead, then you kind of take your foot off the gas. And in the NFL, it's tough to put it back down. But you saw when they needed to. When Wink Martindale's defense needed to make a stop on a 2-point conversion, they came in and they closed the door. I thought the Ravens got back to playing Raven football. No more of this. Let me see if Lamar can be a passer. No. We're a running football team. Lamar Jackson, over 100 yards rushing. Defense, stifling. That's how the Ravens are going to win. Stop trying to beat somebody. You're not. You're not a passing team. You're going to have to throw it at some point to win. But right now, just stockpile wins. You can work on your passing game in practice.
No. Other than their one game against Kansas City,
exactly.
they look pretty.
Yes.
They've got a bye, as you heard the players say, and then they host Pittsburgh. So I mean, this is some football to really look forward to coming up here. And for Philly, better. And in the NFC, I know it's pro football. You're going to tell
It's pro football.
In the NFC East, better might be. You're in it. I'm being kind.
Carson Wentz is playing well. They play without 7 offensive starters today.
Yes.
4 offensive linemen weren't there. Carson Wentz is giving you everything he has. At some point, you're hoping when your guys come back and can get healthy, now you can make a run. You bring up the NFC East, a very winnable division. They may be the favorite if they're healthy. The problem is, when are they going to get healthy, Boom? Like, that's the thing that if you're Doug Peterson, you just don't know.
Well, here's the thing, Booger. They played better against Pittsburgh and Baltimore last 2 games. I don't know if you're going to get healthy against the Giants, Dallas, and the Giants.
Yeah.
You might get healthy in the win column.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see for Philly. Tell you a team that's very healthy in the win column, Chicago Bears. It's a good, sneaky good game. 2 defenses playing well.
Yeah.
4-1 Chicago. Yes. Carolina's won 3 in a row without McCaffrey, and Teddy Bridgewater, all he does is win. But against the Bears, he realized this is an opportunistic defense. Doink! It's a tip. Deshaun Gibson gets the pick off the hands of Robbie Anderson, and 7-yard line Bears in business early.
Chuck Pagano has done an outstanding job, the defense coordinator of the Bears, creating turnover.
Nick Foles to Cole when first we commit. That was a reach. I get it. The youngster is in there, and it's 7-0 Chicago. Now it's 13-6 in the third quarter. Mike Davis. Oh, boy. Knocked out of his hands by Eddie Jackson, Akeem Hicks. This is what the Bears do.
Really nice job by Eddie Jackson. He's always around the ball. They create turnovers like no other defense in the league.
Now, 1st and 10. Foles chased by the Panthers. Up. So it's back to back. Look at this. This is not what they had in mind. Jeremy Double Chin makes the pick, but very quickly Carolina doesn't go anywhere. Then it's Chicago. It's Foles. Darnell Mooney, 18 yards, down to the 12. Next play, this guy runs hard. David Montgomery, doesn't he, Boog? I think so.
He does, and if you're Matt Nagy, you got to run the football a little more. I think that's the one thing that's missing from this Bears offense.
They're down to the 1, and now 3rd and goal. Foles, he sneaks it, 20-6. For whatever reason, it's the first touchdown the Bears have in the third quarter all year. They'll take it. They're up 20-6. Panthers 4th and 1 at the Bears 37. Mike Davis. Let me get that first down. 2 plays later. It is Davis. You know, with the defense, we're not scintillating action, but now we got a ball game. It's a touchdown.
Davis has done a nice job in place of Christian McCaffrey.
20-13. 4th and 2 at the Bears 38. Bridgewater. Going to go deep to DJ Moore, but he can't quite get it.
Teddy's going to want that one back. You got to throw it on the other shoulder. Don't make your receiver turn around and spin around like that.
Give Panthers credit. They forced a 3 and out. Carolina one more chance, about $1.50 to go. And Bridgewater said, I'm going to get back to you. However, the message was intercepted, as was the ball, by DeAndre Houston Carson. And Bears forced 3 turnovers. Chicago Bears, 5-1 for Matt Nagy. They are also 3-0 on the road for the first time since they went to that Super Bowl in 2006. Bears win it 23-16.
Seems like a lot of turmoil in Chicago, but they're 5-1. Quarterback change. Who's going to play quarterback? This defense has been outstanding, though.
Yes, outstanding, and you can win with that.
Yes.
Even some of the games we're starting to see some defenses. Well, nobody was looking for defense here. Undefeated Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. You might have heard of both of them. It's going to be a Hall of Fame showdown. And very early, Rodgers in Tampa. Going to dive for the goal. Oh, he got smacked. He had fun with the celebration.
Okay.
He thought it was a touchdown, but the refs took a review. He was down.
Good call by the ref. Put it at the 1, but a nice shot on the quarterback there by the Bucs.
So Aaron Jones. And okay, so Green Bay, it's going to be business as usual. People forget Tampa used to be in the black and blue division, right? You don't. You remember.
Exactly.
10-0 Green Bay. Rodgers. But all of a sudden, this would happen. Jamel Dean. 5. Touchdown. Pick 6.
First interception for Rodgers in 157 attempts. Nice play by Dean, sitting on the route, and this pick got the Buccaneers going on the day.
How about this? Only 3 pick 6s in his career? My goodness, at 10-7. Meanwhile, Rodgers, more Bucs defense. Ball tipped. It's Mike Edwards. Down inside the 5.
There's an old country saying, Boom, when it rains, it pours, and turnovers come in bunches, and here they come.
Off the hands of Devontae Adams back in there, so 2 quick picks, and then 2 quick touchdowns. Ronald Jones. Bucs fire the cannons. Lead at 14-10. Brady. Hey, can we do something on offense? Yeah, you're welcome to. 6 yards to Chris Godwin. And a face mask on Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, the Buccaneers offense didn't do much on the day, but Tom Brady got him 15 with that face mask on him.
And the Brady steps up. Tyler Johnson. Buccaneers over the undefeated Packers 21-10. Just about a minute to go in the half. Bucs. When have we seen this before? Like 91 times? Brady to Gronk. Touchdown. It still works.
Just a one-on-one mismatch. Gronk is 6'5", 6'6", 260. Throw it up and let him make a play, and he did. And then the spike. Come on, I see you, Gronk. The left-handed spike, Boom.
Well, Tampa got to change it up.
Yes.
Right? Rodgers. Well, Adams catches it out of bounds on 3rd and 8.
It just seemed a little off on the day. The connection, Adams has missed a lot of time. The connection wasn't there.
So, Aaron watches. Meanwhile, Jones in the end zone. In the end, it is nothing short of a blowout. An absolute blowout. Nobody saw this type of score coming. 38-10. The Bucs back in the win column at 4-2. Green Bay falls from the ranks of the unbeaten at 4-1. You see, the quarterback's numbers, this wasn't Namath and Unitas. He's throwing for like 500 yards. We were expecting to have like a 90-minute highlight of this thing. But in the end, I mean, Green Bay, the last time they lost, Aaron lost down there, they were wearing the creamsicles.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on that.
No, you can't.
It's just one of those things, huh?
It is.
Or is it something else?
Well, especially on the road, Boom. You're up 10-0, and there's a tendency when you're up to think, okay, this is going to be an easy day. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, you got to keep the momentum. He throws that pick 6. Then he comes back on a subsequent play, throws another pick, and now the floodgates open. And a Buccaneer team that had seemingly nothing going for them, now they have confidence. It was good for the Buccaneers to win this way. And here's what I mean. Rojo, Ronald Jones, over 100 yards rushing. Brady didn't have to do it. It was defense. It was running game. They're showing they can win in multiple ways. That's something a team has to learn how to do as you get ready to go down the stretch in November and December. And so that's the reason why I think if you're Bruce Arians, you got to be happy. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, you came into a position where you were undefeated. You didn't play well on the road. Now you got to go back and understand, what did we do wrong and why did we play and lay an egg today? And hopefully Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers will figure that out.
No, they will, because they have been on it. There's been nothing short. I mean, to all eyeball tests, they looked like a pretty complete team.
Exactly, yes.
Even with some guys
Yes.
down. I mean, only the Dolphins went undefeated in 72. It's
Only one team.
It's a hard deal to do it. Now, that was one end of the spectrum. We've seen the undefeated, Seattle idle on week 6. Now the other end of the spectrum, the G-men, 0-5. Washington, 1-4. Kyle Allen starting again. Throws into triple coverage. James Bradbury. It's not Burberry, but he's very well dressed. It's New York. And Bradbury, ball inside the 30. It's a pick. Daniel Jones. Every now and then you see this. They're trying. Darius Slayton, 23 yards.
Just a nice throw to the corner. Slayton does a good job of stacking the DB. And if you're Jones, throw it to the corner and let him run under it, and he did.
2 minutes to go in the half. It's 13-3, the Giants. Tress Way is going to punt for Washington. And it's what you teach it. That's great special teams down at the 1. But even better, the Giants ran into the kicker. Running in, not roughing, running. So now it sets up a 4th and 4. And what do you think Riverboat Ron's going to do?
Oh, he's got to go for it.
And he is going to go for it. Kyle Allen on the field, rolling. Tell Inman. So the gamble pays off. Drive continues. Washington, one opening week, looking for their next one. Allen. Logan Thomas. That looked nice.
Nice. Former quarterback Logan Thomas doing a little toe drag swag in the back of the end zone.
So it's a 13-10 game. The Meadowlands. Then Jones would like to have this one back. And a nice play by Kendall Fuller to make the pick for Washington.
Just a nice catch there. Fuller in the back of the end zone almost looks like he's the receiver. Just good body control there.
They would move up the field on that and kick a tying field goal, 13-all. Now, 6 minutes to go. Allen, flush. Inman, first down. Can Washington win on the road? Allen, under pressure. Uh-oh! It's the other way. It's Tay Crowder. Oh, Tay! Touchdown, G-Men, 20-13.
Allen was given a job so he wouldn't turn it over. He had a lot of turnovers today.
Well, Allen now says with 43 seconds to go, no, they tied it. Cam Sims, wait, they didn't tie it yet. 20-19. And look, when you're 1-4, you're going to go for it. They're going for the win right here. Riverboat Ron Allen, could he run it? Is there anybody? No. Oh.
You know, I like the call of going for it. Ron Rivera said, in order for us to learn how to win, we have to win. We have to go out and win, and he went for the win today.
Well, and so Joe Judge, the Senate confirmed, Judge has won a football game. That's not a political statement. I'm just trying to be funny. And the Giants are flipping. They're off the schneid. They have won for the first time this year. They beat Washington 20-19. So dare I say, both the Giants and Washington in the thick of things in the NFC East.
I told them in the locker room, I said, guys, I play to win. And I told you guys that's part of my philosophy. The only way to learn to win is play to win. And that's what I want those guys to understand. That's the mentality. I mean, some of those fourth downs, I win for it because I believe that's, again, the mentality has to be we have to do certain things to win football games. And, if taking a little bit of a gamble is part of it, then that's what I'm doing.
We agree. Worth a shot.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Herm once said you play to win the game when you're coaching the Jets, right? Adam Gase, they haven't won any games. Can they avoid an 0-6 start against Fitzy and the Dolphins down south? Myles Gaskin. Look at Fitzy out front blocking.
That's what you love to see.
He's just fun. Fitzy to Adam Shaheen, 7-0 Miami. Look, they led by 20 at San Francisco last week. Can they do it again? Joe Flacco playing again instead of Sam Darnold? Well, that was a quick sack. Christian Wilkins, Jets punt it. Dolphins lead 14-0, over 2 minutes to go in the half. Wide open is Shaheen. It's a 40-yard gain inside the 5, now first and goal. Durham Smythe from Fitzy, the beard on fire, 21-0.
When the beard's the quarterback, your team always has a chance, Boom.
25. Jet fan with a match. That's a new. You know what? You gotta love Jet fans. I grew up at Shea Stadium. I get it. Meanwhile, intercepted by Marcus May. Defense trying. Can they get a miracle?
Look at the pick, though. He's
nice.
Pinned it on his, is that the right cheek or the left cheek?
It's the butt interception. Speaking of Jets history. Meanwhile, so here comes Joe Flacco.
Come
Jim
on,
Zorn, Fran Tarkenton. Joe, it's not. It's a loss of 28 yards. Manuel Ogba with the honors. They might have had a field goal. Tua's in the game. Out of the end zone. You don't want to blow a shutout. Oh, it's a little square out to Patrick Laird. There it is. His first completion.
Good to see Tua in the game. We know he's a quarterback of the future.
And look at this. They're give him, and Fitzy was leading the cheers too, wasn't he?
That's the type of player Fitzy is. You want him as a backup quarterback to make sure that the heir apparent feels very comfortable.
Well, first shutout of the year. You would have not had Miami as the team to register the first shutout of the year, right?
You wouldn't have, but against the Jets, maybe I would have bet a little money.
Well, so the Dolphins are 3-3.
Yes.
And the Jets now, well, the Giants have won. And so what does that mean? They're the only team in New York. Start spreading the news. They're yet to have a win. Meanwhile, Tua in an NFL game.
I think it was a very special moment for me because my parents weren't here. So I couldn't really remember where we ended our drive at. So try to sit close to where we ended our drive at. And I ended up FaceTiming my parents because they couldn't be here. My parents usually never miss my game. So that's what I did. I went out there and I talked to them. But yeah, that's what that moment was about.
I mean, look, speaking from Hawaiian, not that they're the only ones that family, but family in the 50th state, you'd find it hard pressed to find a place which family means more, and that's a wonderful statement by Tua. That's a great shot there.
Very close-knit family. They were in Hawaii. The entire family moved to Tuscaloosa when he was at the University of Alabama. Every time he plays, they're always there. So you can see the sentiment and hear it in his voice that they weren't there. Great moment, great family.
And meanwhile, Fitzy's winning games.
Yeah, he is. And Fitzy will be the first, just like he cheered today. When it's Tua's time to take over as a starting quarterback, he'll be the first one to hand him the ball and cheer him on.
He's already teaching him how to be a pro.
Yes.
I don't know if Tua's going to grow that beard, though.
I hope he does.
No, well, probably can't. I don't know that anybody can. Meanwhile, the Patriots, a team that has owned that division. Well, we know what's happened. They hadn't played week, hadn't practiced. Cam Newton back off COVID list, had to fly and play in one day at Kansas City. But meanwhile, Cam ball batted in the air, intercepted by Denver's Deshaun Williams. They had their schedule yanked around just as much as New England as they were bystanders. Newton, Lars Cope with the blind side.
A lot of miscommunication from the Patriots today led to a lot of licks on Cam.
And some offensive line injuries during the game. Meanwhile, Drew Lock is back. Jonathan Simon makes a sack. So, everybody rusty except Brandon McManus. Field goals, he was perfect. This is 52 yards, his fourth of the first half. 12-3, this we call a blackjack game. 12-3, hit me. Now it's 18-3, hit me. Newton, he can do this. Timing isn't off when you can do this. 37 yards, Patriots threatening, 18-3. Third and goal from the 1. Cam with 8.5 to go. Close call. Coach Belichick challenges, and he made a good challenge.
It was the right challenge. Ball barely crossed the line. Nice play there, and the Patriots were on the board.
At 18-9, they go for 2. They don't get it. There's 8.5 to go. Look, we're not questioning Bill. I mean, come on. But they need the ball twice. Well, here came one right away. 3rd and 11. Drew Lock picked off by J.C. Jackson.
You don't like to see this in your young quarterback. Started to panic a little bit in this game down the stretch.
Denver defense played well.
Yes,
they held them to a field goal, 18-12. 3.5 to go. Lock, first play after the kickoff. I know it's a punt, but Jonathan Jones picks it off. This was shocking.
Ball security. He didn't have a lot of it in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 10 on 28. Julian Edelman, college quarterback, Kent State. The flick. You saw it. James White, he's great to see him back playing. And you know what it worked once? Let's have Julian roll this time. We're going to throw it to Cam.
Julian 2 for 2.
Best quarterback rating of the day. Julian Edelman. Newton out of bounds, stomping the clock. Now it's 4th and 10. Newton. Heel Harry, it didn't work. And you can, if you're Denver, you can cue up one of the great music pieces of all time. The 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky. Cannons, etc. Broncos have not won in Foxborough since 2006. The Broncos win by the count of 18-12 to the chagrin of Coach Belichick.
We need more time together. We need to practice together. We need to execute and, do everything better. No question about that. We need to do a better job in all areas of the game. We need to play better on offense, defense, and special teams and coach better. And we need to do better on everything. I don't know, but you want a percentage? We need to do everything better. I think I've said that 3 or 4 times, so I'll just say it again. We need to do everything better. As I think I've already mentioned here, I think we need to do everything better. Hopefully we'll be able to practice this week. We certainly need it. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, he's all about fundamentals, as is every coach. And look, Denver came in and played defensive side of the ball with poise. By the way, McManus with 6 field goals, 45, 44, 27, 52, 20, and 54, and they won with 6 field goals.
I mean, wouldn't you expect defense from a Vic Fangio team? Defense,
yes.
Quarterback, don't turn the ball over, at least early in the game, kick field goals. So outstanding job by Vic Fangio and his team. Hopefully Drew Lock can figure out how to clean up those mistakes in the fourth quarter. And if you're the Patriots, you can hear from Bill. Like, this team has been hit a lot with COVID, not practicing. And even that last play where Cam Newton is expecting N'Keal Harry to go out, N'Keal Harry sets it down, the miscommunication, lack of practice time. I don't think Bill Belichick is worried. If this were November, he'd be worried. We hadn't even got to Halloween yet. The pumpkins are still being decorated. Bill is okay, but he knows we got to get on the practice field and we have to get ready and clean up some of these mistakes.
Yeah, they're 2-3, so they're below 500 mid-October. The first time since what, 2002. But I mean, these are the Patriots we're talking about, and this is just unusual, and then things will continue to happen. And look, Drew Lock back in for Denver. They're on the up.
Yep.
Good win for them.
The
really
future is bright. Yes.
Did I say a good win? Any win would be good for Atlanta. Same with Minnesota. They've won only one. Atlanta's yet to win. You know, Dan Quinn fired. Thomas Dimitroff, GM, fired. That's Raheem Morris, the interim head coach. 2 very good football people let go by the Falcons. I need to say that. Kirk Cousins, Deion Jones, and Atlanta, you know, it's not like they haven't been in some of the games. That's for sure. Cousins, 8 picks already this year. He only had 6 last year. Matt Ryan, this is the way it was supposed to look all year. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones.
Where's that been?
7-0 Atlanta. Radio Raheem. Brian Hill takes the toss. Oh, but when you're 0-5, this does happen. Eric Wilson recovers. Jeff Gladney with a good punt.
Nice punch there. Peanut Tillman, shout out. You always patented that move, the peanut punt.
Yep, and now 4th and goal, 1. Minnesota going to go. Where's this been all year, Atlanta? Wow, stuffed. Turnover on downs. It's 10-0 hot Atlanta. Under 6 minutes to go in the half. Cousins. No. A.J. Terrell with his legs.
That's a great hand-eye, body, and leg coordination, Boom.
Well, the rookie, he won't forget that one. Another mistake, Cousins. Now inside the 10, Matt Ryan. Calvin Ridley, believe it or not, touchdown. 17-0 Falcons, but we know no lead is safe.
Oh,
right?
Not with them.
Yeah, but it was today. I hate to blow the suspense of this game. Cousins hit, ball flies to Foye Oluokun. Whatever happened to Jim Smith? Why do I get these names? At any rate, 3 picks, first half, Cousins. 20-0 Atlanta, going into the locker room. Now at 23-7, you know this Julio Jones guy, I think he's okay. I'm going to use him again.
But that was a great play by Matt Ryan, allowing the defense to come up as if he was going to run and then dumping it over the shoulder, and Julio does the rest.
So, Radio Raheem Morris wins his first game. Head coach, at least interim head coach, rest of year Falcons. They're 1-5, and they can score, so they're not going to necessarily be the pushovers that the other winless teams that we've been seeing and talking about. They win 40-23. Minnesota, 1-5. They look lost. Jags, Lions. Now give the Lions credit. Their losses have come to teams with good records. Jags won the first game of the year. Nothing since. Adrian Peterson, he's still doing it. Touchdown, Detroit.
Just turning back the hands of time, Boom.
82nd career game with a rushing touchdown, passing Walter for 4th. This is DeAndre Swift, rookie. Look at him go! What? Didn't fool him, but it went 54 yards. Now Swift had the big game. He says, AP, I want to impress one of the greats. And he did. Up and over, it's 14-3.
It's good for AP to get to going, but they have to get the young guy Swift in order for this offense to be explosive.
Matthew Stafford, they've been up before. They're up 17-3. Now, Happy Galladay. Nice catch by Kenny Galladay. 48-yard completion.
Great job by Galladay going up at his highest point and getting the football. Nice throw by Stafford, giving his number one guy a chance to make a play.
4th and goal. They're going for it. Stafford swings it to T.J. Hockenson. And now Matthew has thrown a touchdown pass against every other team in the league. Jacksonville, oddly enough, the only one he didn't, 24-3. Swift. He's swift and he's strong. And he scores again. 116 yards rushing for him. Jags have given up 30 or more all 6 games. I mean, there you go. They're 1-5 in Detroit. Again, well, they won 2 games. But like Atlanta, they're going to be wary of them when you play them because they're capable with Stafford.
Because they can score. They have an offense that's very explosive. It's the defense. Can they hold people down? That'll be the key.
The Bengals at the Colts. And the Bengals have been, well, last week they ran into Baltimore. But Joe Burrow, they look better. And at Indy, guess what? Burrow, Tyler Boyd, and they're moving the ball on the road at Indianapolis. 4th and 1. Burrow himself, it's a touchdown. 14-0 Bengals? Hey, look at this. Burrow says, this is a lot of fun. And I'm going to get a pass in the shotgun to T. Higgins. Tee it up. Hit it hard. Almost a touchdown. I know I'm speaking to the choir here with a little golf. 1st and goal Bengals, Joe Mixon. Mixon and matching. 21-0 the Bengals at the Colts.
The Bengals are rolling.
Now, 2nd quarter. Phillip Rivers has struggled lately, not today. Marcus Johnson, nice, 55 yards. Now, Frank Reich was offensive coordinator at Philly with the Philly Special. You think he remembers Trey Burton? Yeah, he does. That was Burton getting the ball on the interesting handoff, touchdown.
Burton used to play a little quarterback in Florida and came in good use there.
21-7. The rookie, Jonathan Taylor, takes the pass. Here comes Indy down to the 5. Late 2nd quarter, Rivers, this Burton thing might be okay. There's a touchdown the normal way. 24-14. Bengals 3 and out. Rivers. Time. Marcus Johnson, nice, in the red zone.
A lot of really good throws. He's throwing them, leading the receivers. That's why they're catching the ball and running.
3rd and 10, Phillip firing, lofting, nice. Zach Pascal, 24-21, we got a ball game. 4th quarter, 27-21 Bengals. Rivers. Time. Jack Doyle.
Outstanding throw, threw it before Doyle ever made his break. And Phillip Rivers telling everyone, hey, the old man can still get it done.
Yes, he's old and young man Rivers. 28-27, the Colts are trailed by 21. They've kicked a field goal, 31-27. Burrow, under a minute to go. On 3rd down, going to be picked by Julian Blackmon, and that's it. Again, Cincinnati, it's tough for the veterans, but Cincinnati's coming. And, Joe didn't, LSU, he didn't experience any of this, but the Colts, the team you played for, won a ring with, tied for the largest comeback in franchise history. Regular season. They had the big one with Luck in the playoffs, obviously, and unfortunately, you remember
all too well.
It was a Monday night when you were on Tampa. At any rate, the Colts, they're up to 4-2. The Bengals game, but they lose it, 31-27. Well, just an aside. I mean, I don't remember a Sunday. I'm sure there's been a couple where not only you got to make a 2-point conversion, you don't, you fell short. It was in the conversation about 4 or 5 games. I guess that's coming, huh? Somewhere, should he do it? Should he not? Why did they do it? We didn't. Just a lot.
Oftentimes the score dictates it. If a team is behind by 8 points and they score and they go for 2. But more and more these days, Boom, the analytics are driving the game. Every team has an analytical guy that has this chart and says, hey, the percentages say we can win or our chances of winning are greater if we go for 2. So analytics are starting to come into the game a little bit more.
Yeah, I get it. Again, we said it at the time.
Yes.
I get it with Romeo. The team is 1-4, but I wonder if he would do it again.
Yeah.
I wonder. Meanwhile, game balls, I know where you're going.
Oh, without a doubt. And when you got to look at a guy like Derrick Henry, boom. 250 all-purpose yards, 200 yards rushing, even had another 50-plus receiving. Just outstanding the way he runs, the physicality. A lot of guys make business decisions not wanting to tackle that big man.
Well, speaking of tackling, I'm going to give my game ball to a unit. And this is, with Derrick, and you can't catch him either. That 94-yard run. Steelers defense. Look, the Steelers, that's their DNA of the team, right? But they have all three levels. Now, we said earlier, Bush's injury is going to be very big. But Cleveland, this was a message that Pittsburgh defense gave to Cleveland. We understand you're better. We understand you won 4 in a row. Get out.
Exactly.
At least for now. I'm not saying they were rude or anything, but that's a football that, you've improved. You're not ready to challenge us. That's what I got out of that.
It's a statement game. Hey, listen, you guys are coming. Nice little win streak, but don't ever forget who's ran this division for a long time.
Well, you can't win here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, they don't play again at the end of the year at Cleveland. By the way, a note on Derrick Henry, because when you say he joins 3 others, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, the only guys with 3 200-yard games.
Wow.
That would be saying something.
That's big time.
That would be saying something. You know who else has something to say?
Who's that?
Because it's a Sunday night game. That would be Scott Van Pelt on one of the great rivalries, Rams-Niners. Scotty?
Boomer, thank you. As you well know, all division games have a bit more of an edge to them, but particularly in the NFC West, all 6 are difficult. There are no lousy teams. There are no easy games. San Francisco came into Sunday night's game on a 2-game losing streak. The Rams looking to move to 5-1 on the season. Jimmy Garoppolo had been benched in his last game, missed a couple with injury. Early on, Deebo Samuel, who's missed some games, some time this year with injury. This team has been so banged up, play to the whistle. Deebo not down. Somehow able to keep his knees off the turf, no whistle, and he keeps churning for a 35-yard game. Later in the drive, let's run it to the right. Deebo's into the end zone. Niners, on their first drive, take a 7-0 lead. Early in the second, going for it on 4th down, Garoppolo. Perfect pass. And there goes George Kittle, enjoying himself as he always does, into the end zone. 14-0 the score. After the Rams scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. Trying to get 6 before halftime. Garoppolo finds the rookie, Brandon Ayuk. He's gotten a couple of talented playmakers in these last couple of drafts. Deebo out of South Carolina. Ayuk out of Arizona State. 3 touchdowns in the first half for Garoppolo. This is a huge moment in the game. You just never see Cooper Kupp drop it, and you haven't seen the Rams drop a pass in the red zone since 2017. He can't squeeze that one, so now they go for it on 4th down, and Jason Verrett makes a fantastic pick of what looked like it was going to be a touchdown pass to Josh Reynolds. That's his first pick since 2016. This is a touchdown pass to Josh Reynolds, who goes up and grabs it away from the defender. The flag was on San Francisco, and it's a 1-score game. Rams are out of timeouts. They've hit the 2-minute warning. If San Francisco gets a first down, they can run out the clock. Here comes Deebo on that similar play that we saw earlier, and he bulls his way to a first down. Niners take knees, and they avoid a 3-game losing streak to get back to 500. They now take on a New England team who has dropped to under 500, a very unfamiliar place for New England, as we know. Next up for the Rams, a Monday night visit from the red-hot Chicago Bears.
Back in Kyler Murray's house, as it will forever be at this rate. He still has never lost a game here that he has started, improving now to 7-0 as the Cardinals just put a hurting on the Cowboys tonight in every single way.
4 turnovers, 24 points. I mean, there's probably not much more analysis that needs to happen.
Right.
When you do that in the NFL, this is what happens.
Take the rest of the segment off, Grease.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
That's really all you need for analysis. We have some not-so-pretty pictures, however, for the Cowboys. Kyler Murray back home. Little tap pass. Christian Kirk for the touchdown. This has been an issue, though, for Dallas all season, and especially tonight. You knew they were going to count Lewis on Ezekiel Elliott. and he fumbled second time tonight.
Yeah, look, you carry the fortunes of the entire organization when you have the ball in your hands, and you see the entire organization is going to suffer now because he couldn't keep it in his possession, and it just ultimately led to a defeat.
Yeah, Zeke knows it too. Later, on the ground, Kenyon Drake. And really, the Cardinals could do anything they wanted, really, on offense tonight against the Dallas defense.
Yeah, maybe the surprise was the running game, but Kyler obviously got this long, deep pass to Christian Kirk. That made it 21-0, and there was no looking back. But really, the surprise of the game may have been how well the Cardinals ran the football. They ended up with over 260 yards on the ground.
Here's Andy Dalton trying to get him back in the game. And instead, it's an interception. We think this was a bad break for Dallas. A pass interference that wasn't called. And then it's Kyler Murray reaching out for a rushing touchdown.
Look, that zone read is just brutal, man. I mean, when you have that kind of option available to you, when you can hand it off or take it as the quarterback yourself, it just makes it for a long night for the defense.
Another turnover. There's Budda Baker, who played a whale of a game. 4 turnovers by the Cowboys, and they didn't turn Arizona over at all. It turned into a bowl game, if you will. One of those like really bad bowl games, mid-majors at the end of the season. So, listen, unfortunately, this is going to wind up being about the Cowboys, how they lost, right? This is America's team. Should probably go in the other way and say, hey, look out for the Cardinals. They're putting some things together here.
Yeah, look, they did what I think internally they expected to do. They knew that Dallas was kind of reeling, both on the field with Dak not being there, and then from a spiritual sense, so to speak, with him not being there as far as leadership is concerned. And they have big expectations. So they did exactly what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to come in here, stomp the opponent, and get out. That's what they did.
It's going to be hard for Dallas to respond from this. I get it. They're in the NFC East, but this is not easy to come back from.
They do play Washington up next on the schedule, but it is a short week. We'll see how that plays out. That's the story from Dallas. All tough for the home team tonight.
All right, thank you. Well, we're not even in week 7, and we got Seattle undefeated, who was idle. We got Pittsburgh and Tennessee are playing this coming week as the undefeated, the only ones left. And then the other end of the spectrum, the only winless team, the Jets. Never mind.
Even though they're winless, they're still winning because they're leading the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Well, it's too early to talk. They're going to try to win. Look, in honor of them, I guess I wore a green jacket. All right. Who knew at the beginning of the day when I went to the closet that that's what we would wear? At any rate, thanks for joining us on NFL Primetime. We do it every week. We have a good time. For Booker McFarland, I'm Chris Berman. Enjoy your week.